What's up friends, welcome to Goshwa AI. Today I am very excited because I have a secret technique for you guys. Using this technique, you can learn any new programming language in just 5 minutes. Well, next time someone makes you a promise like that, please do not listen to them because there are no shortcuts. Programming is an art form. It takes years to master even one language, and even then it doesn't end because it's a continual learning process. But yes, there are some techniques that one can apply during the learning process to make it more efficient. Today in this video, I am going to show you a different perspective using which you can learn a new language. It will make your workflow more productive and your thoughts much clearer. If you like videos like this, please like, share and subscribe to support this channel. And before any further delay, let's begin. Okay guys, so if you want to learn a new programming language, the best place to start is nothing other than the internet itself. So let's log into the internet and see what kind of courses can we find. So even if you belong to any non-technical background, then also this is safe for you. You can go and say search something like learning Python, and you will find a lot of websites which will offer you courses to learn that specific language. So we have websites like Udemy and Upgrad. These will give you some paid courses, and then we also have some free tutorials, such as, for example, something like this, a Learn Python free interactive tutorial. However, let's see what this is made of. We have something like, say, Learn the Basics, Hello World. We open the first chapter, and boom, the first thing that you have to do here is write a few lines of codes, check it and find like how these things work. So you have some commands, and if you execute these commands, then you can see the outputs. For example, there is a command print, this line will be printed. If I run it, then you can see this line as this line would be displayed here. So you can of course interact with this. For example, if I write something like hello world and then run, now it is printing hello world. This is good if you have a bit of programming knowledge already and you want to try new codes and try to test what you have learned till now, change it a little bit and experiment with it. But if you are especially from a non-computer background and you have just started to learn a new programming language, then this kind of tutorial would not help you too much, because I think this would make you more confused about the entire thing. So normally when you are conducting any kind of experiments or gathering any kind of data and you want to perform some operations on it, then inside your head you have a certain organization that this is what I want to do with my data. Now to convert that to a code, you need to have an understanding about how the different parts of a programming language are connected with each other. This video, it aims to make that connection clear to you even before starting to learn any new language. It will be more clear when I start. So, before we start to learn how to understand a new programming language, let's see what is the meaning of programming. So programming is a way of mapping from specific inputs to a desired output using a set of logical commands. So what you do is, as I said, if you have a some raw data with you that you have gathered from some experiments or some observations, and you want to do some operations on it, so you will feed that raw data inside your program. Inside the program, you will write certain lines of instructions or codes, and using those instructions, the computer can do what you ask it to do and provide you with the output. This is what programming is. Now, whenever you want to learn a new programming language, you will always find these three modules that are working together with each other. So the first thing that you need to concentrate on is the data handling part. So whenever you have raw data with you, you have to find a way for the program to communicate with the real data itself. So you can say store your data inside the databases. So this will be your real data. And once you have this database ready, what you can do is you can fetch the data from the database and take it inside your programming environment. Inside the programming environment, you can store it in using various things. You can store simple data like some numbers or some text using variables. You can include more complex data types by using data structures or objects. Now, I will discuss this in more details in the future videos. For now, just try to remember all these different components that is necessary for understanding or for rather organizing your approach to learning a new programming language. So the first thing that you need to focus on is how I am handling data inside my programming language. The next thing is, once I have the data, how am I doing the operations? So you can do operations by using simple operators. For example, if you have two variables a and b, you can do something like a plus b or a minus b. You can have basic operators like that. Then you can also build statements using operators like that. Say c equals to a plus b plus c by 3. And then you can also organize bunch of statements and group together to create functions. So whenever you want to execute all those statements together, then you can just call the function in a single line. This way you can make your parts of code reusable in different ways. You can also handle complex data types like objects by designing classes. So what you have to do is you have to design classes, and these classes will act as a blueprint for things called objects. Now these objects can be something like, say, we can have a class called box, and this box has three attributes: the height, the width, and the depth. Now, whenever I have a box object, now this box class, it's a blueprint. I'm saying that this box object can have three parameters, and whenever I create a box, say b1 is a box, b2 is a box, b3 is a box, and each of these boxes will have their height, width, and depth. So this class is acting as a blueprint for this object instances. You can also organize different programs or modules inside packages so that they can be called from other modules as well. So there is a hierarchical structure of command going on inside the programming environment. Once you understand the hierarchy, it will be much easier to divide very complex tasks that you have into much more simpler chunks and run it as a whole. Now, once you have understood these two things, that how to represent your data and how to operate on your data, another thing that you have to do is how to control these operations throughout the programming environment. It may happen that there is some statement that you have to execute only when some condition is true. For example, if I want to find the bigger number among two numbers, say a is a number, a equals to 5 and b equals to 10. Now because this is a variable, this a can take other values as well, say a equals to 15 and b equals to 7. So depending on the values of a and b, I have to find out which one is the bigger variable. So we can write a small code, something like, if a is greater than b, then I will say answer is a, else if this condition is false, then the answer is B. So these kind of conditions can also be implemented inside your programs. It will control the execution of specific statements. For example, this is a statement and this is a statement, but both of these won't be executed. The only one statement which is satisfying the corresponding condition will be executed. So another thing that we have is called loops. So loops can be like, if I have some set of instructions going on, and this set of instructions, I have to write this, say 10 times. So I have to do the same amount of instructions 10 times. Then we can write it inside a loop. If you remember that we have talked about something called functions here, where we are grouping together some bunch of statements, and whenever we need those set of statements, we just call that function in one line. So that function call is also controlling the flow of your program, and it is handled by the function calling part. We can also access the different modules. So whenever we are organizing our codes or functions, classes, everything inside a module, and then we want to access those classes from a different module, we can use the concept of importing the modules. And whenever we want to fetch the data from the database, or if you want to write back some data into the database, we can use the concept of file input output systems. Now, these operations are not specific for a single programming language. You can use these same principles for different procedural language or object-oriented language. For example, C, C++, say Java, Python, MATLAB. All these languages they have a basic structure which is very similar to each other, and the only thing that is different is how you write these commands. For example, in C, you can write if A is greater than B, then second bracket starts, println A, sorry, printf A, and second bracket close. But for Python, you can write if A is greater than B, then instead of the second bracket you use something called the colon, and then you write print A. Now if you see that here we are using second bracket in C, in Python we are using colon. We are using the command printf in C, and here we are using only print. So what you see is that syntax is a bit different for every programming language, but once you understand these basic concepts of how these things interact with each other, it will get much simpler for you to learn a new language, and to not only to learn that language but also implement your problems or your tasks in that programming language. So in the next video, what we'll do is we will talk a little bit more about this data handling part, control flow and command structures in much more details, and we will discuss about these things, about what kind of variables can we use, or how to define these functions or classes or modules, or how to write different kind of conditions, loops, function calls, etc. But we will be doing that with respect to a specific language. For starting, I think Python is one of the best language because the syntax is very easy to understand, and you can focus on how to write a program rather than the syntax, the headache about the syntax of all these commands. So until then, I really hope to see you in my next video. And if you like this video, then please like and share and subscribe to support the channel. It means a lot to me. And stay safe, stay happy. Bye bye.